And there we are. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope you guys are having a good day. All right. Before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. And if you can do that, we'll have a great chat. If you cannot, then those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here because we're not going to have it. A lot of rain today. A lot of rain today. Very wet and rainy day, but that's okay. We've had good steady soaking rain today, which is what you want. You don't want a torrential downpour, but if you have that nice steady rain, that always works well. I didn't kill the volume on this, so I better do that. All right. Okay, so we're going to be talking about uh, the U.S. and India's getting closer, getting cozier, and so we're going to be talking about that in this live stream. But real quick, I did want to talk a little bit about my video that I did earlier today, and I had it's funny. It's you have you know 90+%, probably 95% of people agreed with what I had to say, and then you have somebody comes on and goes, "I can't believe you were triggered by that." It's not being triggered. It's about a respect thing to me, and I just wanted to address that real quick. I find it when a meteorologist, okay, that has a pretty pampered life. I'm sorry, but let's be realistic. A meteorologist has a pretty pampered life. There's nothing, there's not, oh my God, I got to go do the weather, and I can be wrong and still keep my job, right? So everybody in this day and age, if you are in any kind of social media situation, you deal with hate. That's part of the territory. That's what you realize when you get into it. If you want to call it being triggered, when somebody says that they have PTSD, and because they got a hateful email, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm just not. I can't buy that. I can't buy that. That's a sign of a weak man. To be honest with you, and that's my opinion, and that's not going to change. And yeah, I'm not heated. I'm not heated at all. To be honest with you, I just like I said, I think it's disrespectful to people who are really dealing with PTSD, and those would be combat veterans, people that have been physically or sexually abused. Oh, a lot with the emotional support animals too. You know what? Don't get me started on that one. Yeah, that's the latest trend too. This is my emotional support animal. They have to go with me everywhere. Listen, I love this dog with my whole heart. Okay, that dog is part of who I am. But guess what? She doesn't go everywhere I go. Um, Most of the time she goes. I will tell you that. You know what I mean? Most of the time she goes with me. But you know, uh, she's great to have around. She's great companionship, and she's a nut job. So she fits right in. So, but anyway, it just like I said to me, what the thing that bothered me was the disrespect for people that are really dealing with trauma. You getting a hateful email, that's not going to cause you to have PTSD. I don't care, you know. So yes, and PTSD is nothing to joke about. And when people, what you have to understand, we live in a society today of victims. Everybody's a victim, and it pisses me off. I'm sorry, I keep seeing these things about Gen X, okay, and you know we grew up in a different time. And I'm going to give you a couple examples of Gen X, okay? So if you were crying, right, here's what you got. Do you want me to give you something to cry about? Boy, I'll tell you what, that turned the waterworks off in a hurry, okay? That turned the waterworks off in a hurry. When your mom or dad said, you know, do you want me to give you something to cry about? That was the end of that. It was like, okay, well, we're not pissing them off anymore, okay? You know, if you fell and you got hurt, you know, oh, stop being such a crybaby. Rub some dirt in it, you'll be fine. You know, go out and play. Don't bother me. You know, it's just I find it comical and amusing. You know that everybody is you know the whole thing. You know the participation trophy crap. You know all of that. It just like that's why we have the problems that we have. Because here's what the thing is: we are not preparing, and this is strictly my opinion. Strictly my opinion. Uh, Well's fine. I just got to hook up the plug to it and run it when I'm ready. But I don't have anything to store the water in at the moment for that. So that you know I'm not doing anything with it at the moment. But no, the well's good. Um, we are not preparing our young people for the real world. And here's the reality: you can pamper them and coddle them all you want, but once they get out into the real world and have to deal with reality, and they're expected to work and all those type of things, it's a real rude awakening for a lot of these young people because they everything is not going to be handed to you. You actually have to work for it to get it. I can remember being a kid, you know, and everything was not handed to me. I mean, if I wanted something, I went out and I worked and I paid for it myself, and that's how it went. So I was hustling, you know, and when I say hustling, I mean, you know, shoveling driveways, cutting grass, baling hay, going to a golf course that was not too far. You know, I saw that they're talking about a military coup. I don't know if that's really happening or not, so I'm not going to really get into that because it's. I'm not going to go with speculation. Okay, you know, but 80K man, that's the exact reason why I wanted my daughter to go away to college. Well, I'll tell you what. So let's talk about reality now. Heather, I'll talk about my daughter. Okay, so she's a millennial, right? She's in that group. She's a millennial. But the difference with Heather is Heather always had to be. You know, she didn't. I never made her go get a job. Okay, I didn't make her do that. But she had responsibilities. She had responsibility you know, with her brother because her brother was autistic, so she was in charge. So you know that was a lot of responsibility that way. You know, the kids had chores. They got up in the morning. They made their own beds. I mean, you know, I used to tell them the maid has the day off. And you know, I remember at one point my daughter going, "Dad, the maid has the day off every day." I said, "Exactly. There is no maid. We are taking care of our own stuff." And so you know, you teach them responsibility. You teach them a work ethic, and it's going to carry on. So Heather went off to college for 2 years. Decided that was not what she wanted to do at this time, and so she came back home. And then I said, okay, well, you know, you're going to be home. It's time to get a job. And she was working part time in college, and so you know, I mean, now she's working and she loves what she's doing, and she's making decent money, and you know, she is maintaining the homestead up in New York. So you know, she's doing great. You know, and then my sister's there with her obviously as well. So you know, it's a good situation for her. She has her own home basically. It's hers. You know, I'm not there. So you know, we had talked about you know, unless Richie hires, yeah, right. So unless Rich, yeah, there's no. We definitely you know. Yeah, foster care ruins kids. I've seen that over and over and over again. It's a whole. That's don't even get me started on that topic. We're not going to get into that tonight, Jen, but that could definitely be a topic that we could get into. Yeah, that would definitely be, you know. I delivered newspapers at 11, made $22 a week, thought I was rich. Yeah, you know what? When you have your own money that you've made, that you've earned, and you can go spend it any way that you want to, it's a great thing. It's a great thing, and it teaches you, hey, you know what? If I want it, I go out and get it, and I earned it, and nobody can take it away from me. And I just think that that's a good thing. I was a senior in high school. I worked a full time job as a senior in high school. And I'll never forget. I was making 118 bucks a week, 118 a week. You know, um, but you know the beers at the bowling alley were 50-cent drafts, and so I mean, that was good. That was good. So, but it just a different mindset. Everybody wants to coddle their kids now, and uh, you know they knew that submarine imploded on Sunday. Yeah, there was a lot of the whole thing with, oh, well, they heard knocking. They've been long dead when they were telling people that they heard knocking. So I don't get that one either. Yeah, Ann says I started working at 14. I got my working papers at 14. I worked before then. So, you know, but but anyway, that's it is what it is. It's everybody has the right to raise their kids the way that they want to, but you put them out in the real world, and if you haven't trained them, if you ain't trained them, the real world's going to spit them up and chew them up and spit them out, and that's what happens. And that's why so many of these kids, you have these issues, and because everything is not handed to them, and you have to work for it, and you have to earn it. So, but that's all right. So let's get into this thing about India. I don't want to go too far into this without talking about that. We're 230 in the chat. We're at 81 thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that real quick to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. Also, it makes a big difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, a lot of things for me, guys. I'll tell you, it is just going real quick, and then we'll get on topic here. It's about respect, okay? It's about respect. Uh, the people that do things that the others won't do, they get more of my respect, and that's just the way that I feel. Like I said, I have said over and over and over again, I did not see combat when I was in the military. And I look back on that now, and I am very grateful that I did not, because that will change you. It will change you. I don't care what anybody says. You send a young man or young woman off to war, and the things that they see, the things that they have to do, it changes you, and not for the better. So, to me, um, they get my respect more than anybody else, and that's just kind of where I stand with the whole PTSD thing. So, anyway. Um, so there's been this historic meeting, the Premier of India, and I'm not even going to attempt to say his name because I will butcher it. I will butcher it greatly. But he came over. Him and Biden have met. They've come together. Now, what you got to understand, okay? So we're hearing about there's the military stuff. The India is going to start making the 414 engines, for the fighter planes for us. Okay, we are also having, the chip manufacturing is big in India, right? So we're gonna be hooking up with them. So there's two folds to that, right? We're gonna get into that. Okay, um, so we've made an agreement with them on that tech support, sharing some of our military stuff with them, and working together with them. What you got to understand a couple things. Now, we're not like, sitting around a campfire yet with India singing Kumbaya. India wants to be seen as an equal, which I absolutely respect. That's what they should be seen as, realistically. That's how they should be treated, as an equal. That's just my opinion. I think you should do that with everybody, to be honest with you. That's just my, don't treat other countries lesser because, they're not as powerful as we are. But that's just my take on that. But anyway, um, you know, India wants to be seen as an equal, and so they're working towards that. There's something I just saw too with that. Last year, we gave out 125,000 student visas to India, which actually made up like 20% of all the student visas that were given out, which I thought was quite interesting. So that relationship with India is getting stronger, which is I think it's a good thing. But we also have a common enemy, right? I don't know if you guys, have been paying attention, but India and China have been at odds for a very, very long time. There have been fighting over, territorial land disputes up in the mountains, and there have been conflicts up there, and people have been killed recently up there. So, we have that common enemy, if you will. So, with us getting in bed more with India, I honestly think that it's a great thing. That's just my opinion. I think it's a great thing. You're talking about a country of 1.4 billion people, and so it's and they're right on China's doorstep. So, if we get into, if we strengthen our relationship with them and it gets better and all this, and all you hear, okay, and tell me you did not hear this in the news, right? In You had all these congressmen and congresswomen. Well, they need to talk about, the human rights violations that have happened in India and blah 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 blah. Right? That's all you were hearing about, not the importance of having a strong alliance and a strong connection with India. We weren't hearing about that and how strategically it's important. Just the microprocessors. Okay, let's just talk about just that. We all know realistically, right? I mean, you don't have to be a rocket science to figure out at some point China is going to go for Taiwan, and they're probably going to take it. That's the reality. So um, you have to look at that situations. Okay, so at some point when we're getting, I think it's 70% of our microprocessors and our chips that we need uh, from Taiwan. Well, if China takes them over, that's probably not going to happen anymore. What we have to also think about is if we're going to end up in a conflict with them, who's going to be on our side? I mean, it's great. I love Canada. Okay, I love Canada. I love Australia, but militarily, uh, they would help. They would help, but they're not strong enough, realistically, to be able to deal with those type of things. Their militaries are not anywhere near. They don't have the population, as well. So, I mean, you have to look at things realistically. So when you're looking at a country with the number of people that India has, they can make a difference. You know, this is what blows me away, and we're talk about over in the UK, okay? And you have, and this is, and again, this is something that drives me absolutely insane because I really truly don't get it. I don't. Okay. So when you go over to the UK and you're over in Ireland and those areas over there, and you have the Protestants and the Catholics have been fighting forever, forever, right? They hate each other because the other one is a different religion than they are. They've been killing each other in the name of religion for who knows how long. Uh, it's to me that is the biggest form of insanity, realistically. So in India, that same type of stuff is happening. You have different sects of whatever religion, Hindu and and there's Muslims and and all that type, Sunnis, Shiites, you know, uh, they're all the same color, right? They're all brown, but they want to fight and kill each other over religion. And to me, I don't get it. I really truly don't get it. Uh, you know, why can't we why can't we come together and agree to disagree? So anyway, all these congressmen and stuff are like, oh well, you need to address these human rights violations that they're doing with killing this group or that group and all that type of stuff as well. And that's been going on over there forever and a day, just like, you know, the Irish, like your Protestants and your Catholics over in the UK, and it just, it's insanity. To me, that's insanity. I never could understand it. There's another, Ed, Ireland is not so much like that anymore. Just saying. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad because when I was younger, there was a lot of that going on, and I just never could understand it. So I appreciate you saying that, Prep Rebel, because I know you're over in that area. But it just, I don't know. It's when you have that stopped a while back. Okay, well, I know that was happening, and I'm just going. And like I said, I'm not really up on everything over there, but that was happening. It just, I don't know. I don't understand the mindset. I don't understand where people are coming from. So here's an example, okay, of something that the height of insanity again. And we're going to go with the Catholics. So let's just we're not trying to pick on the Catholics, but we're gonna talk about the Catholics for a second. We're going to go to World War II, right? So you have the good American Catholic boys getting ready to go off to war, right? And so they go to the priest at the church, and they say, how can we go over and kill German Catholics, right? How can we do that? Well, that's your duty to your country, blah 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 blah. And the German Catholics are going to their pastors or priests or whoever they're going to, and they're asking that same question: how can we kill American Catholic boys coming over here? And again, it's that whole duty, and it's what you got to do, and it's okay in the eyes of God. So all of a sudden, God decides, okay, well, yeah, here's this group of Catholics over here, and this group of Catholics over here. Yeah, it's okay. Both of you just go ahead at it and kill each other. Does that make any sense? And the church, right? The church backed that because at the end of the day, who was making money? Who was making money on that, right? Ah, you're home. Very cool. Um, the churches were making money. They're making huge money because all those funerals cost money, and they all want to be have a proper burial in the church. It's disgusting to me. It's just disgusting to me. Warfare is warfare. Makes no odds what your religion is. I'm using the point, Anne. What I'm using the point is that the Catholics in Germany and Catholics in America were basically going to their pastors and asking how can they do this when it says in the Bible, right? It does say one of the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill. I didn't see a subtext. In the Bible that said, well, it's okay to kill people under these circumstances. These are okay. Now, don't kill anybody, but under these circumstances, it's all right. You know what I mean? It's not there. So, the justification, that's what, like I said, again, I have a problem with that. Like I said, I just, and at the end of the day, when you go to war, who's making money? Big business is making money. And guess what, folks? Those senators' sons and daughters, for the most part, they ain't going. They're not going. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the Knight Templars. Oh, the Knight Templars were not just assassins. They had trade, and they were, they would protect you on your journey to the Holy Land for the right price. So, yeah, they made a lot of money. The Knight Templars did. So, yeah. It's a business. War is a business. And the rich get rich, and your sons and daughters and my sons and daughters, those are the ones that die. And they don't care. We are disposable. And that's where their mindsets are at. But anyway, let's go back. I'm like getting off track here, but and I'm sort of not off track because we're talking about the human rights violations that they wanted to our politicians, some of our politicians here wanted Biden to talk with the prime minister of of India about. And you have to choose things carefully. You have to choose things carefully. You're trying to make an alliance. You're trying to strengthen a relationship. And the last thing you want to do is sit up on your pedestal. And that's what these people are doing. Let's be realistic. Sitting up on our pedestal, dictating, you need to do this and you need to do that. But at the same time, if we need information from you, well, we'll just waterboard you, right? That's not torture, right? Oh, no, that's perfectly fine. We don't ever do anything wrong as the United States of America. We're the good guys. Don't kid yourself, folks. Don't kid yourselves. We do atrocities in war just like any other country out there, and we can justify it, and that's how it goes. And that's why a lot of these folks, you know, when they're coming home, and now they have to process what they've done, what they had, watching their friends be wasted. You know what I mean, and all those type of things. It's a very difficult thing, and a lot of them can't handle it. And that's why a lot of them turn to drugs and alcohol as a coping mechanism, because they're not getting the true help that they need to process and deal with. Things have gotten better. Things have definitely gotten better with the VA, but there's a long way to go. There's a long way to go, and that's just my opinion. I've seen it over and over and over again, and so. Yeah, we committed atrocities against each other during the Civil War. Exactly. Look at Andersonville, who would be a great example of how the prisoners were treated there. You know, and we were all Americans. You know what I mean? It's just, like I said again. I don't know. It's just it's crazy. As I get older, I look at things a little bit differently, and I don't know. You look at things differently. That's pretty much what I can say. And it is interesting. That's. But I'm tired of seeing, people with their whole lives ahead of them, going off and dying, for what? All the men and women that died in Afghanistan, right? What they die for? Did anything change in Afghanistan? I mean, let's be realistic. We gave it right back to the people that we were fighting. Gave it right back to them. And what did they do? What did they do? Right? They went right back to what they were doing before, taking away all the women's rights. We were over there for 20 years, folks. We were over there for 20 years. And I am tired, okay, as somebody that is proud to be an American. I love being American. I've been very fortunate. We have a lot more rights in a lot of other places, but they're trying to take those away constantly as well. But when you look at, I'm trying to think what my point I was going to make. I had a point that I was going to make here. God, I hate that when that happens. The joys of getting older, right? You having a storm in your area? We got one. It's been raining. Like I said, down here, it's been raining off and all day. But anyway, going back to Afghanistan, right? So all these young men and women went over there. We lost, the number that we lost, but all the injured people came back, not right, and all that type of stuff. And who benefited from that, right? A 20-year war. Oh, I know my point I was going to make. Yeah, 20-year war. There's no reason, as the United States of America, the strongest military in the world, right? The biggest military. We spend more money on the military than any other country. And a lot of countries combined. Our military, we spend a lot more on it. So you mean to tell me that we can't go in to an area, right? And and this is what I would do, folks, and I've talked about this before. Here is the country. Here's the line in the center, right? Everybody on this side of the line is the enemy. Everybody on this side of the line are the good guys. And you start at that line and you clean them out like rats. That's it. And guess what? If there's nobody alive to fight you, then you win. You want to take it over, you take it over. We were in Afghanistan. I mean, you look at Heroin, right, was a big part of that. We let that continue. Why couldn't we stop the heroin production? We didn't. We didn't, right? Uh, we were there for Earth minerals. I mean, let's be honest. You think we actually gave a crap about the Afghanis? Realistically, you think we did? We didn't. We didn't. And so, Patton did that for a time in Germany. Well, and Patton was a smart guy, and he was the one that also said, let's keep pushing on to Russia, didn't he? Huh? you know, but we've been in Afghanistan since the 1980s when the Russians first invaded. Yeah, and the Russians were over there forever and dealing with stuff as well. If you make a line, and that's it, and then just wipe out everybody, and you know what? Collateral damage. If you don't want to be collateral damage, get out. Go be a refugee someplace else. But you know what? You take it over. Then what are they going to do? There's nobody there to attack you, right? That's just my take on it. I'm more hard line because I'm not willing to sacrifice, young men and young women from America. I'm not. But if they keep, like I said, we had fighting for 20 years. Who benefited, right? The rich. Philip Drummond, Boeing, all those things. They made a freaking enormous amounts of money. Afghan has a large amount of lithium. Now China controls it. Yeah, exactly, Asif, and you are 100% correct. Yep. And China slid right in there after we went out. Yep, absolutely. Thank you very much for the comment, and thank you for the donation as well. This is something that's going on forever and a day, folks. It's not going to change. When you look at back and let's go back and look at Vietnam. We fought Vietnam with one hand tied behind our back. Again, here's the line. That's where the enemy are. Eradicate them. Period. End of story. War's over. War would be over months. Months. The war would be over. And if we fought wars like that, you think anybody would want to screw with us? Realistically, you think they want to screw with America? If we said, okay, if you're our enemy, we're going to wipe you out. Look at Genghis Khan. That's what he did, right? He'd encircle a city, right? 1,000,000 people in a city. And what would he do? He'd kill everything, and leave one person. But he'd kill animals, women, children, men. It didn't matter. He killed everybody. And look, he controlled most of the known world at that point in time. So, U.S. didn't know how to fight jungle warfare in Vietnam. You're right. You're absolutely right. I don't disagree with that. But, again, if you wipe out all their food supplies, JJ, right? If nobody's growing rice and they can't get the rice or whatever else they're eating, and you wipe them all out, so I was pissed that in Desert Storm we made it to the palace and then turned around. Yeah, exactly. And then we had to go back. 80 came in 10 years later. Yeah, so 91, we went in there and kicked butt. And then, 10 years later, we had to go back in again. Well, we didn't have to. We did because, they weapons of mass destruction. Remember that one? I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired of being manipulated, lied to, coerced, and all those type of things. And yeah, Agent Orange was used, and they said it was safe when it wasn't. Yep, and look at what happened long term with those men that dealt with that. So it's just the whole situation is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But the rich get richer, and we continue to go, okay, yeah, all right, as they throw us crumbs. So yeah, it was a war over oil and money. Oh, absolutely. That whole thing over there, it was controlled. You know, Kuwait had a ton of oil. We couldn't allow the fact that Iraq was going to take that over. And when we decided to go in and decided to do what we needed to do, Where do you think a lot of that oil went after that? So, guerrilla warfare is now the thing, and it's advanced to tech warfare. Sad, sad state of affairs. Right, but again, prep rebel, and I don't know how to be more clear. If you kill everybody, if you kill them all, they can't fight you. You take it over, and then you say, "This is now ours." What are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do? That's just my take. Maybe I'm a bit harsh, but you know what? Hey, Asif, the Navy have special listening devices that heard the implosion when it happened and dragged it out for 4 days when they knew it was a lost cause. Yeah, I don't get that. The whole thing I don't get. I just why all the special attention in the whole games and everything? Why? Because they were all a bunch of rich people, right? And I don't wish any. Like I said, in that situation, it's a terrible tragedy that those people died. But yeah, it's a distraction. Exactly, Larry. Exactly. Our parents provided the basic necessities, and we got jobs to pay for the I wants. Exactly right, Karen. Yeah, there was. That's the difference. That is the difference. We didn't have things handed to us. We had to work for them. I'll never forget when I was when I was working, and I actually bought three things. I bought three things, and I actually went out at the same time, and I bought all three at the same time. And I still wish I had that shotgun. I had a pistol grip shotgun that I purchased. That was pretty cool. That's long gone. That was long, long gone. I bought a TV and a VCR. Remember those? And I had that. That's and I bought them all with my own money and money that I had worked for, and it was awesome. It felt really, really cool. So everything's a potential distraction at this point. Yeah, Bubble One, I hear you. You know, but find. So let's talk about this for a second. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What are we at? 283 in the chat, 146 thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Betamax was first. Yep, I remember that one. And that was supposed to be the greatest thing, and they went away quick. Again, it really makes a big difference with the algorithm. So if you haven't done a thumbs up for that, I appreciate it as well. Also, again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Listen, I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I'm gonna put that out here, okay? I'm not saying that I have all the answers. What I would do would be a whole lot different, but these wars would not be dragged out for 20 years if I was in charge. I would tell you that right now, because it's not worth the young men and women that died because of that. So, and then to turn around and give it all back to them. That's what bothers me probably more than anything else. So it was a complete waste. So, but anyhow, what are you gonna do? But I still have my Atari. Oh my God, I remember. Well, actually, let's go back a little further than that one for Cookie. Who remembers Pong? Right, that was like the first one was Pong. And what Pong was, okay, you had your little controllers, and you had it was like a bar, and you had the ball would go across this little dot, and you had to try to hit it with the other paddle, which was just you know, and it would go back and forth. Yeah, that was. But Pong was the beginning. Too funny. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff if you look back and think about the different stuff. But interesting. The Battleship game. Well, that was something that you played without being, on a computer. Oh, so I remember. So 80 came in. First three games, I'll never forget. You had Pac, Space Invaders, and Centipede. Those were the first three that they had out. Like with the Chile Country Club. That's where I kind of grew up in that area, and we would go up there, and I could not even tell you how many quarters. Asteroids was another one. Yep, yep. But how many quarters we fed into that crap. Oh man, they made a ton off of us, a ton. But PacMan, I loved PacMan. I had the patterns down for the first like four levels. After many quarters, figuring it out. So, but yeah, I liked PacMan a lot. And then I got older and actually started having to work for a living. And so I went on with my life, and the games got more advanced and more advanced. And I see these people playing the stuff that they play now, and I'm like, holy crap! I'm like, yeah, no. I just got better things to do. Uh, you know, I know like my ex brother in law, he was big into like Call of Duty, and he'd get out of work. I mean, he worked all the time. It's not like he sat home, but he went to work, and then when he got out of work, he would get online with his buddies, and they'd all play Call of Duty for like hours. Yeah. Yeah, a quarter was worth a lot more in the '80s. I can remember Asif, so I'll give you a little another nostalgia thing. So when we were 5 to 9, I was 5 to 9. I lived in a small town called Elby in New York. So anybody from New York is going to know where I'm talking about. And my grandparents lived in Scottsville. So we would go to Grandma and Grandpa's house every Sunday. We'd drive out to Grandma and Grandpa's every Sunday. So that's why, actually, me and Steve were talking about this last night. We watched Wheel of Fortune, right? We watched the Lawrence Welk show, and Hee Haw was another big one. So yeah, all those shows back then. That's what you watch. It was Sunday night. That's what you did. But anyway, when we would go, my allowance back then, I was 50 cents a week. So I was always a saver. So I would save a quarter and set it aside, and then I would take a quarter. And on the way to Grandma's, there was Lawrence Welk. Well, yeah, we had no choice either, Don. We had no choice either with the Lawrence Welk show. But anyway, so there was a store that we would stop, and they had penny candy. So you get 25 pieces of candy for that quarter, which you'd go out with this bag, the brown bag, paper bag, just like chock full of these candies, and it was like the greatest. I mean, it was awesome. And then we'd get to Grandma and Grandpa's, and then it was like milk and cookies, and she always had the good cookies and everything, and you did all that, and it was awesome. Those are memories that to be cherished, things to think about. But think about that now. There's no way you could get. Scottsville had an awesome go kart track. Do you remember that? I don't remember that in Scottsville. I know that in there was a go kart track over by the airport. They had one in not Henrietta, Ballantyne, over near Ballantyne. There was a really cool track down in this industrial park area, and you go down there and you could go, do the go karts down there. I don't remember one in Scottsville though. But we had a store like that. It's still around. Prices are modern days now. Yeah, yeah. A quarter might buy you a piece of candy if you're lucky. Small piece, one of those little pieces. So, but fun times, fun times. Wonderful World of Disney. Yep, they had that on there. We got to watch that, and I can remember we're sitting around watching TV, and my grandfather would call it the idiot box. Don't sit too close to that idiot box. If you watch it too long, it's going to turn you into an idiot. And he wasn't wrong about that one. Holy crap, he was not wrong about that. They don't call it programming for nothing, folks. So yeah, that was before Disney went woke, exactly. So they called it an idiot box too, Don. That's funny. Yep, called it the boob tube. I heard that one as well. But yep. So I remember you get the baseball cards, right? And it would have the gum in the back. So, and it would be like this rock hard piece of gum. So you'd open up your baseball card, and you have like this wad of just this gum in your mouth. So, yeah, interesting. Yeah, tops. Exactly. Yes. Yep. I wish I still had all those cards now. It'd probably be worth something. Uh, I never knew The Wizard of Oz was in color until college. Oh yeah, oh my God, you watched it every year. It came on every year, and every year we watched The Wizard of Oz. Yep, there was a couple different ones like that. What was the one? Oh my God, it was Mr. Bluebird's on my shoulder. And it was all animated, and the bluebird would come down, and it would be on the guy's shoulder. Oh man, uh, yeah. Just thinking back, like I said, like we had channel 8, 10, 13, and 31. Egg count time. Okay, JJ. But yeah, we just thinking back on all those type of stuff. Yeah, it's very interesting. And now there's like 900 channels of nothing. So, all right, let's go. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Oh my God, yes, love that. Mary Poppins. Yeah. Oh, for the Bluebird. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. That's too funny. All right. And some of you guys on here going, what the heck are these people talking about? How many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck. So we'll do that. Yeah, Witchy Poo. Oh my God, that's funny. So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses up, and we will go from there. Give you guys a few more minutes to get your guesses up. All right, I think this is going to be a first. I have no right answers yet. Advise and start over. So I'll give you guys a few more minutes. All right, we do have a right answer now. And the first bunch of you got it right off after you got the hint. Um, if you had the same exact guess as Sharon Barrett with 4 eggs and no for Miss Thickneck, very lazy day. Actually, Heather called me. What was it yesterday? And I think she goes yesterday. Yesterday was like 9 eggs, and she's like, I know it's not an egg day, but they had a good day. She goes, so I figured I'd tell you anyway. But yeah, it was 4 eggs today and no for Miss Thickneck. She is now not laid in like 5 or 6 days, so I am not sure if she is near the end of her run. She's definitely an older hen now, so but I don't know. Well, hopefully she's not done. Good chicken. She's a good chicken. So yeah, she might be done. Retirement. No, not egg bound. No, she's been steady, steady, steady for a long time. When they get older, they just stop laying. You know, she's that happens. So yes, so Sharon, congratulations, you've won absolutely nothing. Too funny. And then if you want to go back even farther, you had the Andy Griffith Show, right? Boy, things sure changed. My Three Sons. yeah, it's definitely interesting. You look back, yeah, Bewitched. Oh my God, yeah. But Leave It to Beaver. Oh my God, yes. Yep. The Brady Bunch. Yep. Thinking about all those shows back in the '70s. Petticoat Junction. What was the other one? Well, you had Mr. Ed the Talking Horse. Bonanza. Yeah, that's another one. Yep. So, Welcome Back Carter was later. JJ, that was later. Green Acres. Yes, there's one. I Dream of Jeannie. Oh my goodness, yeah. Gunsmoke. Yeah. Oh man, too funny. But now we're all dating ourselves with that one. Petticoat Junction. Yep. Oh my God. Yeah. Hawaii Five O. That was '70s though. I think that was '70s. But yeah. Oh my God. Gunsmoke. Man. Yeah. A lot of interesting stuff. Um, Beachcombers for the Canadians in the house. That's funny. Yep, Batman. Oh my God, the TV show. Oh, and you look back now, it was so cheesy, so cheesy. The Honeymooners. See, so somebody put Abbott and Costello. Yeah, how about the Honeymooners? Gilligan's Island. Oh my God, yeah, too funny. $6 Million Man. Yep. So, oh, hee haw. So yeah, so actually, Steve and I were talking, about hee haw, and so I was like, okay, and so here I had to do it, right? I said, okay, who's this? And I put it on the laptop, and it comes up, and he starts singing or starts talking first, and he's like, he didn't recognize the voice, and then he started playing, and he goes, Liberace, and I was like, yes. I'm like, I can remember being a kid. Okay, and I can, and I got to share this story with you. And so Liberace's on. And now it wasn't earlier Liberace where he was still kind of conservative. This was super flamboyant Liberace with like the minx, you know, uh, coats coming out. It had the long trellis, and he had all the rings, and his hair was just so and all that. And I remember we're watching him, and I'm going, Graham. I go, that dude's gay. And she's like, I'll never forget it. No, he's not. He's very good to his mother. I go, well, who? He lives with his mother. I said, Ma, I go, Graham, come on. The dude's gay. Oh my God, too funny. Just thinking about that is just. So here's. I think I've done this trivia before with you guys, but we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it one more time. So the Lawrence Welk show, Bobby and Sissy. All right. So Bobby and Sissy were the dancers. What show was Bobby on before he was on the Lawrence Welk show? So there's your trivia question. So if you want to, in the comments, I'll give you a moment. And it's one that we haven't talked about yet. It's a show that we haven't talked about yet. So, but he was on another show before yep, the Mickey Mouse Club. Yep, Bobby he was the oldest musketeer of the original Mickey Mouse Club with Annette Funicello. Yep. So too funny. Yeah, and he ended up growing up, and he ended up on the Lawrence Welk show with that phony smile, always dancing. Oh my God, too funny. Very very funny. But uh, you guys, we went on nostalgic hour. It's so funny. Oh, so I got to share this one with you. So my mom watches all these shows from back in the day when she was young. Okay, and they're all black and white shows, and like she loved John Wayne, and so she would and the different actors and actresses back then, and she would she would watch all these shows in black and white, and I'd be like, Mom, I go, why do you watch all that crap? I said, there's all kinds of stuff on, right? But now, right now, I find myself, I'll go back and I can watch, and it sounds terrible, but I could watch 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Red Dawn, all those movies from back in the 80s, and I can watch them, and it takes you back, to that time of your youth, and and now I get it. Now I get why she watched all those old time movies and stuff. Hey, Asif, my middle school band teachers claimed to fame that he performed in the band on the Lawrence Welk show before becoming a teacher at my school. That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's you go back and that's what you're going to remember. You know what I mean? That the music from the 70s and the 80s. I still listen to to that 70s and 80s music. So the Mandrell started on Lawrence Welk. Yep. So, but it's really interesting. If you're whatever age you are and you're watching this, youth is what you're going to gravitate back to as you get older. Those different shows and the different things that you watched, and that's the Benny Hill show. That was think about. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this. Trying to do All in the Family, right? How about that one? Benny Hill show. Try to do that now. There's no way you could. There's no way you could. Also, I'm trying to think of the other show, The Jeffersons. You couldn't get away with that stuff now. You just couldn't with the different things that they say with this cancel culture that we have. There's no way you could get away with that anymore. So, yeah, All in the Family would cripple half the country. Exactly. Exactly. So, all right. Yeah, Sanford and Son. Oh my God, I love that show too. So, very interesting. Very interesting time in our lives. And here we are. We're all getting older now. Mostly white. I still got some black in there though. See how the black's under that part? I think it's on that side too. So I got like those two streaks down through here on the back side that are still black. A lot more white these days though. A lot more white. But yeah, they're still black in that part. Eyebrows are still good. It was funny. Actually, I have like one white hair that grows on this side, and I pull it out. Like, I mean, my whole face is all full of white hair, but I'm not ready to give up the eyebrows yet. Oh, Captain Kangaroo, absolutely. Mr. Rogers. I mean, Mr. Rogers, we watched all the time. So, Wheezy. Oh, no, Elizabeth. Elizabeth. That's who it was. It was Elizabeth. That's right. Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. That's so funny. It's funny. I grew up watching, obviously, Mr. Rogers. And then when I had my kids, he was still on. Yeah, no, he was a combat veteran. Yep. Another guy who was Bob Ross. Bob Ross was a drill sergeant in the Air Force. So yeah, Wheezy was George Jefferson. That's right. Yep. Yep. So, but yeah, Bob Ross. Heather loved Bob Ross. She thought Bob Ross was awesome. But yeah, you think back and crazy to think that and how it's all different now. And whatever happened, what happened to our spines in this country? I mean, it just. I just saw something, and they were talking about what's the Air Force Academy going woke and pushing that agenda and all that crap. I feel sorry for the young men and women that have to go through that and be subjected to that nonsense. You know, I don't know. I just don't get it. The question that I have with that, why do I have to be forced to feed into somebody's delusions, right? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, if you want to identify as an eggplant, then go ahead and be an eggplant. But that don't mean I'm going to agree that you're an eggplant. So George Carlin was awesome. George Carlin, and he said, "Oh my God, Grizzly Adams, yes." A couple of things I could watch over and over and over again. All right, the spaghetti westerns from Clint Eastwood. I could watch them over and over and over. Loved all of them. The Outlaw Josie Wales. I could watch that all the time. You Jeremiah Johnson, that one. I could watch that movie over and Robert Redford playing Jeremiah Johnson. I could watch those things over and over and over again. Yeah, My Name Is Nobody. I remember that one. Yeah. John Wayne was awesome. So, okay, so here's a question. All right, so here's a question for you guys. Who was a better actor? All right, John Wayne or Clint Eastwood? So, John Wayne or Clint Eastwood? And we're going to do shout outs here in a second. I know we're completely off track tonight, but who cares? Who do you think? Oh, Billy Jack. Loved Billy Jack too. Yes, I love that. So most of you are agreeing with me. I believe that Clint Eastwood is a better actor. Uh, John Wayne was a great character. Awesome. Did that. The Shoot is over and over again with John Wayne. I love that movie. I thought that was awesome. John Wayne did a couple, army movies. He did some of that. The Green Berets, if you guys remember that one. I love John Wayne. I thought John Wayne was awesome. But I believe Clint Eastwood is a better actor because if you look at the body of his work and the different things that he did, he wasn't pigeonholed into one type of role. He did all kinds of different stuff. So yeah, John Wayne is John Wayne in all his roles. Exactly. Yeah, he was this typecast Western star. Exactly. So, but Clint Eastwood did all. I mean, the Mule. I mean, if you what was the other one? There was another one too that he did where as he was older, he played different. He was so versatile with his roles, and I like that. So, but that's just me. All right. Let us go ahead. We're going to do some shout outs now. I know this whole stream just kind of went off the rails a while. Sorry about that. Oh my God, Star Trek. That is too funny. Do you have a favorite classic horror movie? Ah, I was never really big into horror movies. I really was not really my thing. As a kid, I used to get a lot of nightmares. I'd wake up from nightmares and stuff because if I was watching like a scary show, uh, you know, I just it was not my thing. But as far as a classic horror movie, I really don't. I can't. And I did like The Shining. I did like that one. The Omen was awesome. Yes, with Gregory Peck. That whole thing was pretty cool. Um, the Exorcist. That was a crazy good movie. So, but yeah, Gran Torino. That was the other one. Thank you very much with Clint Eastwood. Yeah, he was awesome. He was awesome in that one too. But all right, so let us do this. We're going to start out with Icky Canada for a shout out. I can't keep reading all you guys stuff because on and on and on. You have Angry Prepper down in New York City with Jason. Alaska Prepper with Rudy, a really good guy there. There is Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. A real good guy building up in Canada, gardening and building. Crazy to watch him. Really, really good. Psycho was also another really good movie if you were into the horror stuff. That was an Alfred Hitchcock one, I believe. You have Demcad. Demcad is a really cool guy as well. I like his channel. Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizarriza Jizza who does the Carrington Chronicles. You have Marfugal News, Adam and Dax out on the West Coast doing their thing out there. There is Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wranglestar. Cody's a really good guy, great channel, and all that, so definitely check him out as well. The Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily over in Europe. You have Kyle's Cabin. Kyle and Sierra doing their thing in Minnesota. A nice young couple, off grid, living off grid. Really cool to watch them. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband wife team, two different channels, a lot of good information on their channels as well. They split their time between Michigan and up in Alaska. You have Green Greg's, a lot of great information when it comes to gardening. Definitely check him out. Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. Definitely look him up as well. There is Gray Man Prepping. You have St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy been around a long time. Great channel. A lot of good information on their channel. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there doing their thing, and really cool to watch them too. I like their channel. The Green Dream Project out in Arizona, living in the desert and showing you how to do that and prepare properly when you have limited water. And so, when monsoon season comes, they get the water for the year off of monsoon. Really, really interesting to watch them do that. You have Camping with Steve Wallace, does stealth camping up in Canada. There's Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. She's been around for a very long time. Really good channel. She's dealt with her share of adversity as well. Boss of the Swamp. He's been around a long time. Another great builder. A lot of good ideas. Somebody definitely you would want to pick his brain and see his things, what he's doing. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. I love Diamond. Very, very smart guy. Anything you want to know about the Grand Solar Minimum, he has all that information, and he can help you with that. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer. There is Bear Independent. The Uneducated Economist. Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. You have Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley, I like her. She's giving you all the updates with Yellowstone, the earthquakes, what's going on there, the uplift, and all that. So she's very fun to watch. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There is Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a good guy. Been doing stuff. He gives back to the community in a huge way. Really passionate about the weather, so definitely check him out. Then there's Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand. Some people don't. That's perfectly fine. I like the way he presents information, and he lets you decide what you want to believe or not believe. You have Deep South Homestead, another very down-to-earth channel, good channel to listen to. You have The Outsider. He's up in Maine. Really good channel there, watching him build. He had his father helping him with a lot of stuff, and his father passed away unexpectedly. I think it was last year, but real good channel there. The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel. Simple Life Reclaimed. There's Townsend's. Townsend's is a great channel. He a lot of good information on how to live in the 1800s, which is, I think, we should be paying attention to that because it could be happening again. The Prepared Mind, formerly of California. You have Pinball Preparedness, who is down in Tennessee. There's East Tennessee Preparedness, Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. A lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information. I do believe that we should be supporting each other. I know a lot of you are putting other things up in the chat, which is fine. There's a lot of good channels out there. There's a lot of good information. So, I think it's important, again, like I said, that the prepping in the off-grid community, such a small niche group of people, that we shouldn't be fighting with each other. We should be supporting each other. So I think that's important to do so. But anyway, yeah, the Dirty Harry movies with Clint Eastwood, very, very good as well. Yeah. He did the Alcatraz movie, Escaping Alcatraz. So Yeah, a lot of good stuff with Clint Eastwood. A lot of Every Which Way But Loose with all those movies. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, we should be supporting each other, which is a good thing. Yeah, Kelly's Heroes. Yeah. Oh, Charles Bronson. Love Charles Bronson. Yes, um, loved him as well. He was a legitimate tough guy. Charles Bronson was no joke. The bees are doing great, Lori. Actually, I had to go out today and change their water, and I actually got out there between rain. I got lucky when I went. I knew it was coming, and I could see it was coming. I'm like, I gotta go take care of the bees. I gave them more water, sugar water today. I will continue to feed them sugar water probably right up until the fall, and they need that extra energy right now because they're trying to, they're building. Is what they're doing. They're building up that hive. So the more help that I can give them, and they're still having, the bees going out and collecting pollen and everything else that they need. They're still going out and doing that as well. But that sugar water is helping them to build everything up, and so they're you've heard the busy bees. That's what they are. They're very very busy, which is awesome. So, but anyway, um, yeah. So it's bees are doing great. Dave went home. If you guys saw in the chat, he was like, "I'm home." At 8:20, he put it in there, so he's got to be tired. I'm sure he's very tired. So I watched Jeremiah Johnson once a month. Great movie. Love that movie. The Dirty Dozen. Yes, JJ. Another one. Another good movie. Telly Savalas was in that one. You had Jim Brown was in that movie. That was a great movie. Great movie. So Mr. Majestic. Oh yeah, with Charles Bronson. Yes. Yep. So many good movies. And what do we get today? We get crap. You know what I mean? We get crap now. So, but yeah, if they did the Dirty Dozen now, you'd have to have your non-binary in there. You have to have you'd have to represent like six different races um, in there. You know, you just couldn't do it anymore. Oh yeah, Telly Savalas played a real deep and bent character. Yes, he did. He was awesome. But I loved Telly Savalas when was doing the detective, the show that he did with the lollipop. What was that one? What was that? And Telly Savalas shaved his head when white dudes didn't shave their head. Okay. Um, what was that show that he was on? Bojack. Yes, thank you very much. Love that one too. I love Telly Savalas, but yes, when he played that character in the Dirty Dozen, oh, Fish was another great show. Yes. Yep. So, anyways, we got to stop. Um, we are Legion. We are many. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? Barney Miller. Yes. There's Philip in Melbourne, Australia. Hey, Philip, how you doing tonight? Waterloo, New York with Sharon. Dayton, Ohio with Rhonda. Hillsboro, Oregon with Chewy. BC, Canada with Emil. Michigan with Bubba One. Dwindle, Virginia. Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. Yeah, who loves you, baby? Exactly. The UP of Michigan with Dawn. Lost on Vancouver Island with Prep Rebel. BC, Canada with Janet. Village Homestead in Central New York. Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. How you doing tonight, Clyde? Uh, we have Mark in New Zealand. Yep, Shaft. That was another one. Edgewater, Florida with Judy. Western New York with Karen. Charlotte County, Florida. The Mojave Desert in Southern Cal with Dave. Troutman, North Carolina. We have Michigan with Corey. Hancock, Maryland. Portland, Donald. West Virginia with Morning Light. So, But yeah, a lot of, like I said, we're all over the country, we're all over the world. We're a huge network of people. We're the ones that are awake. We are not woke. We're the ones that can make a difference, trying to help people and educate people. West Central Ohio with Dale. We got Maine in the house with Kim. So, we can make a difference. We'll definitely make a difference afterwards because there's going to be a lot of people that haven't got a clue, and we'll hopefully be able to help some of those people. Oh, Columbo, yes. Ironside. Nobody said Ironside in here. I love that show. Him in the wheelchair. That was an awesome show. Now we're really getting back. We're going way, way back. Oh my God, that's funny. Monk, I liked Monk, but Monk was much later. We got Crafty in northern Wisconsin. So, oh yeah, McLeod, yes. McMillan and wife. Oh my God, you guys are bringing back so many freaking memories. Perry Mason, Dragnet. Oh my God, that's too funny. Yeah, Perry Mason was awesome too. Okay, I got to tell you one that I could not stand. I got to put it out here. Got to put it out there. If I ever had the chance, I would strangle the woman with my bare hands, and I'm saying that in jest, of course. Murder She Wrote. I could not stand that show. I mean, truly and completely despise that show. Um, I took care of, and I got to tell the story on this one. I took care of an older couple, and they always watched the reruns of Murder She Wrote. And I'm like, you got this busybody lady that lives in Maine, and there's more people were killed in that little town that she lived in. Angela Lansbury, yep, could not stand that show. Oh, it used to drive me crazy. And then if it was like, if it watched the show and then they did a rerun of it the next day, they'd watch it again. I wanted to pull my hair out if I had any. At that time, I had hair. I wanted to pull my hair out. I could not stand that show. Uh, but Angela Lansbury did well, so good for her. But I couldn't. Oh, I couldn't do it, guys. I couldn't do it. All right, I want to thank all my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. Really appreciate what you guys do, ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me. It's very much appreciated. The Rockford Files, yes. Yep. Kathy, Murder She Wrote was a great show. Come on now, Kathy. I'm not going to hold it against you for your poor taste, okay? I'm not going to hold it against you. Oh my God! Yeah, the original Magnum PI. Yes, Tom Selleck. Very funny. Anyway, guys, I want to thank all you guys for being here, being part of this. I appreciate it. So tonight, people are going to watch the stream and be like, "What in the heck? Where did it go? Completely off the rails." That's okay. So, but anyway, uh, remember, guys, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we're going to be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use race, religion, political affiliation. All these things mean absolutely nothing, to be honest with you, in the big scheme of things, in the big picture. We're all human beings, and as soon as we can come together and work together, we're going to be in much, much better shape. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time. Hogan's Heroes, yes, JJ, absolutely. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive. Oh, Kung Fu, I like that too. Yes, that was awesome too. I love that show. Uh, the only one stopping you is you. Stay positive, set realistic goals, and you're going to be just fine. That's all. Just keep working at it, keep prepping. Don't listen to the negativity, and that you'll be good to go. So anyway, guys, I hope everybody has a great night. I will see you all. Have a good weekend. Be safe, and we'll talk to you all later. This one went off the rails bad this time. This is probably one of the worst ones off the rails that we've done, I think, but that's okay. It was fun. It was fun. So have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.